Today I have a special guest for the YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about how CJ went from zero sales to 40,000 plus per month with his first product live on Amazon as a new Amazon seller. So this is definitely going to be interesting. Hopefully this is definitely helpful for you guys. If you're watching after we go through these questions at the beginning, we'll go ahead and do a live Q&A where myself as well as CJ will answer any questions that you guys have. All right. So first and foremost, Chris, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. A lot of you guys already have me on Instagram, CJ_Empire. Just wanted to say what's up and give you a little bit about myself. We started doing Amazon about maybe 4 months ago. And before that, my cousin and I, we used to sell products locally. Mainly, we would start with like toys and regular household items like toasters or toaster ovens, stuff like that. Anything we could get our hands on, really. So when we got to Amazon, just the platform being so big, it was really exciting to us.
Awesome. So previously you said you have a partner, your cousin, you guys were doing arbitrage?
Yeah, exactly. When we first started, we started with books in arbitrage. The only difference being we had to do it a little different because we live in Montreal, we live in Canada. So using .com as a platform, we kind of had to fix it up a little bit in the way we got our products into Amazon. So we had to go through like prep centers and stuff like that in the States. So we never really had our hands on the books per se. We kind of used other venues, like we would use eFlip and stuff like that to get links to books and pretty much buy the books in Amazon and then flip them for a profit in Prime.
Awesome. So is that how you guys really built the capital up to get into private label, is with arbitrage and the online sales you guys were doing?
Yeah, more or less. That's pretty much what we did. That and our full-time jobs, of course, we pretty much invested the money into our products to start the PLs and stuff like that.
Awesome. So since you have experience with online and retail arbitrage, what would you say is the difference that you guys recognize, or the difference with your personal experiences in between selling private label products online and doing the arbitrage?
Well, for one, the volume, man. When we started doing private label, like the stuff just picked off. We started it off with after we found our product, we more or less took advantage of all the different the listings. That's how we started really well. Like we made sure our listing, we hit it strong from the beginning. We were allotted a certain amount of characters in our description, so we made sure we really used all that, and we focused a lot on our keywords. Yeah.
Awesome. So basically, what I took from that is there's more control, that you have more access to control what you can do with your listing and with your on page, like you said, with keywords, pictures, all that stuff. Is that something that you would say is a negative aspect with arbitrage? There's not really that much control with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Also with arbitrage is a lot of work to get little results in comparison to PL. I mean, the results are still there, definitely. But in comparison to PL, once it's set up, man, it just flies. Like our first product, we got it in Amazon. And within the first 2 days, we sold 100 units. Well, that's what we started with. We should have started with a lot more. But yeah, they just sold off, man. So we got 500 in the next time around, thinking it would last maybe 2 weeks. It lasted maybe 5 days in Amazon. So, I mean,
Wow.
Our first product was really good.
Wow, that's fantastic. So you guys said that you're located in Canada, in Montreal. Are you guys currently selling in the Canadian marketplace, or are you guys utilizing the United States marketplace?
Strictly utilizing United States, yeah.
Fantastic. So approximately how many sales with your new product are you guys getting typically per day? And how's your margin looking? About how much profit are you guys seeing on that?
Right now, we're selling approximately anywhere from 80 to our most being 120 units in a day. Our profit margins, we're looking at about 44% after all our fees, our Amazon fees, and the cost of the goods. We're looking at about $10 profit easily.
Wow, that's fantastic. So when you guys launched your product, how long did it take once you launched the product before you guys started utilizing PPC?
After we launched our product, we pretty much, like I said, hit the ground running. We started immediately. We used the different methods that we learned in the course to get reviews. So we had our reviews, maybe about 8 of them within the first day. So we started our auto campaign pretty much the day after, man. We really hit it off well with our first product.
Wow, awesome. And so what was your typical ad spend, or what did you start out? How much were you guys spending per day on that?
When we first started, we started off with $10. We started off with $10 a day in ads. And the funny thing is, when we started, we actually started with something like 4,000 keywords, man. It was ridiculous. So after we learned and we saw which ones were really converting, we then pretty much narrowed that down to now we're at less than, I believe it's almost 200 keywords. And we're pushing at about $80 a day now in PPC.
Wow, fantastic. So that's a really smart approach. That's something that I tell a lot of people. Sometimes people want to be more frugal with their keywords. When you're starting out, you want to start with the largest amount of keywords, not really just focus on keywords that get a lot of impressions or keywords that may be the most profitable. You want to get the biggest pool of keywords that you can use. And when you run your campaigns, you want to let it run for a little bit of a while and see the impressions, see the CTR, the click-through rates, and really start to see which ones are performing. Now, just because keywords are performing in a paid advertisement does not mean that they are profitable. So that was really smart that you guys started with, you said 4,000 keywords and you narrowed it down. Once you narrow it down and you see which ones are performing, which ones are profitable, then you can start to scale and increase your budget. So that's fantastic. Where are you guys at organically? And for those of you guys that are watching, organically means where you place in a search result without appearing through paid advertisement. So for instance, page 1 would be an organic ranking if you're not paying to get there. And that's what we want to shoot for because obviously you're not paying. That's why it's organic, meaning that there's no ad spend. So your margin's going to be higher. So where are you guys at on what page organically?
Organically, we're pretty much on the first page in majority of our keywords, actually. Like I said, we really focused a lot on the listing. So in doing so, we really thought out the right keywords. We learned throughout the course brand recognition. So we really wanted to approach it as a company base where it's like people would understand that they're buying a brand and they trust our product.
Fantastic. So how long would you say it took you guys to get your product in? After you found your product, you found your supplier, you got your sample, how long did it take you to get your product in and really start seeing these results?
Well, we started doing PLs in about, I believe, the beginning of September. And by the end of September, actually it was my birthday, funny, we had 100, that was when we got our first 100 units in. So about a month to get everything in.
Wow, fantastic. And how many reviews do you currently have, and how many reviews did you have when you started PPC?
Right now we're at about 20 reviews. And when we first started PPC, we, like I said, we got about 8 in the first day. So that really helped drive our sales.
Wow, fantastic, guys. So let's talk about your product and how long did it take for you to find your product? I talk about a couple different ways to do product research and find products. One being a conventional method, just you're strict using your Jungle Scout, all right, the product directory, maybe the web app, or just scraping through Amazon and then utilizing the Chrome. And then we have some more non-conventional methods like finding products and doing reverse engineered searches, that type of stuff. So how did you find your product and about how long did it take for you guys to find this home run product?
Well, we found our product through use of Jungle Scout. We pretty much followed the guidelines in the course. We pretty much plugged in the same numbers, but it's funny because going into it, we kind of thought maybe this would be something that we would find by the 5th or 10th page. It's nothing like that, guys. Like, honestly, sometimes you're looking for hours and hours and days, and you finally find a product that you think is good. And then you go check it out on Amazon to see how other products in that niche are performing, just to find out, it's too hard to get into because there might be so many people, it's saturated. So you just go right back to the drawing board, man, and hit Jungle Scout all over again. So for us, it took us about, I'd say 3 days, but this is the 3 days, like I said, we're 2 people. So when my cousin was, doing other stuff, I was searching for products and vice versa. So it kind of curbed our time.
Awesome. So it sounds like in your guys' unique situation that it was kind of you guys scratch each other's back, that you guys are applying this as a team. So it sounds like it was really nice to do this as a team, and not too many private label sellers do this as a team. So it's good that you guys are family. Obviously, you have to have somebody that you can trust, you can work together. So a lot of people, their main restriction may be capital. Maybe if you have a family member or a close relative, something like that, you guys can team up like Chris and Jonathan did. So that's a prime example. So that's awesome. So would you say that starting out product research was the I wouldn't say hardest, but the longest task to find your successful product and start your successful business?
Actually, yes, that would definitely be one of the harder things. But it's funny because, like I said, because we don't live in the States. Another thing that took us a while to really, well, not a while, but we really took our time with it, was finding a supplier. Because for us, we don't have the luxury of being able to be hands-on with our product. So we more or less get the sample, and then once we find out the sample is good and we test our product, we really need a supplier that's gonna label our products for us and prep them for Amazon. So we really need to have a good relationship with our supplier, our manufacturer rather, and we had to find a really good one, man.
Wow, that's awesome. So after you find your product, you put all the time and you grind and you find your product. Pretty much everything after that was pretty easy.
Yeah, pretty much. Once everything was up and running, PL just flies, man. It takes care of itself as long as you keep putting in the inventory. It's a lot faster than arbitrage, that's for sure.
Fantastic. So I see a lot of people when they find successful products that they have issues with keeping inventory, especially as a new seller in the beginning. Did you guys ever run out of inventory? And if so, if you could go back and give yourself advice, what would you give yourself prior to ordering your units?
Yeah, well, like I said, getting into our product, we did a mistake by not jumping into it because we at first got 100 units in. And even after that, we were still a little squeamish about it. So we put 500 units in, and it was just way too fast, man. Our product was just flying. By the first week, we were selling about maybe 50 to 60 units a day. So going back, if I could do it again, I probably would just tell myself, listen, go jump in. The product's gonna sell. You did your research, you did your homework. Trust the process, pretty much.
Awesome. That's what I tell everybody. So basically, what kind of hindered the velocity in the beginning was overanalyzing, overthinking, maybe being a little skeptical, which that's our human nature. You know, this is something completely new for you guys. You're importing, you're starting a new business. That's the human nature. And that's what I tell a lot of people. If you follow what's in the course, if you follow the guidelines in the course, you're not taking a risk. What you're doing is making an educated decision. There's a big difference between a gamble and an educated decision. When you make an educated decision and you have a formula, you know what's going to happen. So that eliminates the risk. Therefore, don't overanalyze it. If you know what your competition's selling and you know how you're going to crush your competition, escape the competition, how I talk about, don't hesitate, don't overanalyze, and order the necessary amount of products that you need. Joey, one of my other very successful students, we did a live Q&A with him, live interview. He had the same problem. He ran out of inventory twice, and he's gotten the bestseller badge. He's ranked the top 3, and that's the main thing that he had in the beginning. Overanalyzation, a little bit of skepticism. That way, starting out is something new. So that's definitely a nugget for you guys to take home. If you take your time, do the product research, you're not taking a gamble. You're making an educated decision. When you do so, your product's never going to disappear, guys. You're never going to be out of all your money. If you take the right steps and you follow the formula. Awesome, man. So are you guys looking into any other products currently?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you ask because actually we're in the process of arranging 2 samples to come in right now for 2 new products with our manufacturer. So hopefully by the end of this week, well, next week, middle of next week, it should we should have the sample and get everything going. It's funny because I was on Instagram not too long ago and I don't remember, but I posted pretty much there was some complications with the sample coming in. It got delayed. It got shipped back to the sender. So it should have already been in, but that comes with the business.
Awesome. So are you guys going to launch in the similar niche, or are you guys looking into another niche?
No, absolutely. We're staying within the same niche, man. Like I said, we really branded our name, so we're trying to stay within that niche.
Fantastic. And that's something that I talk a lot about is, in the beginning, all the work, all the hustle goes into product research. But if you really take your time, it's really going to pay off. Once you find that home run product, it's really easy to launch semantically relevant products or products that complement those products or that niche. 9 times out of 10, your supplier, your manufacturer may have products that you can source direct from him. You can get a catalog, you can ask them. There's multiple different ways, and it just makes it a lot easier to roll out other products. You can ask him what's selling, what's up and coming that he has. Then it really makes it easier to build out that brand and build out that category, which is it's just going to start to grow. And if they complement each other, the beautiful thing about having a brand and launching products within one niche is when they complement each other, what happens is they start to cross promote each other. And what happens is you'll start to see Amazon will start to show other people purchase this with this at the bottom. It's just going to increase your UPT, your cross promotion. And then now you're building that trust with your prospect. You're going to have brand recognition, brand awareness, and it just grows like a wildfire. So that's awesome, man. I wish you guys the best of luck. Let me go ahead and see here if we have any questions really quick in the live chat. Let's see. I was looking at a product for a couple of months, and I just noticed that 10 new sellers just popped up, and I was ready to order that product. Would you recommend that I still go for it, or should I move on to a new research a new product? So the main thing is a lot of people get skeptical and they think, okay, a product's going to be oversaturated. The product's going to be saturated. There's a lot of sellers. As long as the metrics make sense, okay? The amount of reviews, the competition, that it's not a trending product, it's not a seasonal product, and everything else that we mentioned in the curriculum, then you should be good, okay? Because we don't want to join the competition in the race to the bottom with price. We want to escape them by launching a better product, having a better listing, better quality product, better customer service, etc. So I would not worry about that. I would stay focused with the metrics. And what would you say, Chris, going back prior to knowing anything or getting into the course or starting this, what's the number one thing that you would tell yourself, maybe you and Jonathan, prior to starting?
Without knowing anything about the course or anything like that, I guess for me especially, because Jonathan was more business savvy than I was, that's for sure. So for me especially, man, I had to learn that in business you have to spend money to make money, so to speak. So for me, it was always just it was hard to invest my own money in a product, especially when I wasn't so sure about how the turnout would be. But looking back on it, like I said, trust the process, man, and just do your research and you'll be fine.
So when you're starting out, when you had access to a mentor and you had access to a course, would you say that accelerated your growth or accelerated or helped your success? Or what do you feel about that?
100%, man. Like we wouldn't even have started PLs if we hadn't jumped on your course, to be honest. Like the details, everything was step by step. And the thing I like the most about it is like I've done many courses, not necessarily for Amazon, but I've accepted many courses throughout my years, and I always found that people who had the courses, it was just they had the courses, they were more about making the money. But when we took your course, like you were always just a text away. We would message you on Instagram, and within 20 minutes you got back to us with a response, man. And you really helped us through the process. So I mean, with anything, you find a mentor, whether it's in a book, whether it's in a course, you find someone who's doing what you want to do, and you make it happen. You follow their lead.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to contribute to your guys' success. So basically what's going to happen, a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between a YouTube channel and reading books and, just looking through YouTube versus joining a course. And what the difference is number one, you're going to have access to somebody who's been where you're at in the beginning stages, okay? They're going to help walk your hand past and around the potholes. That way you can avoid them, all right? If any barriers come up, anything that you may stumble or drop the ball, you have access to that mentor, somebody that can guide you in the proper direction. Also, you have access to kind of like a syllabus. So wherever you're at, the course is about 8 hours long and everything's in chronological order. So no matter what process that you're in the private label game, you can always fall back to that course, watch that module, and reiterate or fall back to what you need to know. So that's super huge. There's nothing in there that you can't find or you can't learn on your own, but through hundreds of hours of learning and split testing and trial and error, and after thousands of dollars, spending thousands of dollars trying to learn how to advertise and how to understand PPC and learn the Amazon algorithm, I've perfected this formula. So that's what I want to do for you guys. I want to help you guys make the process easier, and I want to help eliminate the risk. All right. Like I mentioned before, if you guys have the formula, you're making an educated decision, not a gamble. Failure just makes you better. My first three private label products failed. If you guys watched the live interview I did with Reezy, all three of them, first three failed miserably because I didn't have a process. I didn't have a formula. So that's what that helps do, is avoid that for you. So let me see if you guys have any other questions for Chris or me. Go ahead and plug them in here, and we'll answer them before we sign off here. Let me see here. How can I launch my first private label product to rank quickly? So man, there's a lot of variables. That's more than a one answer question. There's a couple videos on my YouTube channel that talk about ranking and starting to rank a product. But if you're real about this and you want to really, take it to the next level and see success, the best thing is to grab a hold of a mentor, grab a hold of a process, a formula. That way you can really take this thing to the next level. There's multiple variables. There's over 200 different factors in the Amazon A9 algorithm that go into ranking. You have reviews, you have CTR, you have word count, you have keywords, all right? You have conversion ratios. There's all different types of things that go into ranking, and that will really help with your conversion. If you don't know them, it's going to take you a lot of time, and you're going to waste a lot of money trying to. Trust me, I've been there. Let's see. S says, how did you get 8 reviews the first day?
Well, pretty much, like I said, like Josh has been saying, you find a mentor. In the courses, he talks about a lot of ways in which you can get reviews up, and they happen pretty quickly, man. So, get his course. Just follow his steps, man, and you'll get it. You'll succeed.
So you guys use some of those tricks, some of those methods
Yes,
I
sir.
had in there,
yes, sir.
in reference to getting the reviews.
100%.
I know how it works, man. That's how we got Joey. We got Joey ranked first page in 3 days, man. You just got to know. If you know what the algorithm wants, what it's hungry for, and you can feed it, you can whip it up and feed it, you're just going to accelerate your growth. You're going to accelerate your success. For those of you guys that are saying that you missed it, this will be live up on my YouTube channel. All right, so you guys can go back and watch that. But for any of you guys that are watching, really quick while I have you here, the doors to the course are closing tomorrow. We have several hundred enrolled. I get 300 emails a day. So tomorrow around midnight, the doors to the course are going to close. If you guys are serious about getting into the course and serious about enrolling in the course, I suggest you do so now. That way you're locked in. And what I mean by locked in is once the doors close and I help more of my students get success, like Jonathan, Chris, Joseph, and all the other successful students that I have, I'm going to be adding more content to the course. Once I do so, the price of the course is going to go up. You get my personal direct contact, any questions that you have, my mentorship around any questions or any obstacles that you have. If you need me to review products, if you need me to review listings, critique products, anything like that. Not only do you get that, and in my eyes, that's worth $500 all day long, but you get access to all the PDF templates. You get access to my manufacturer's template. All right, that template is several paragraphs long that I've developed over the last 30 months, and it's fill in the blank. So when you go to contact suppliers, all right, after you find your product, you go to contact suppliers, you have access to this template, which is fill in the blank, which literally, no joke, you can contact 20, 30, 40 suppliers in 1 hour. Once you fill in the blank, copy, paste it, send it, and now you look like a professional purchasing agent for a professional company that deals with distribution and import-export of goods. You also get the box stuffer and all the other PDF templates. but I am going to be adding more content. You get lifetime free access, lifetime free updates. So take advantage of that. Other than that, let me see. Do you set up PPC for your students also? So I don't manually set up anything for you guys, but what the course does is the course from A to Z shows you what to do. You're literally looking over my shoulders in the course at my computer screen on a new account that I created, and I'm showing you exactly what to do. By the way, the account that I created that I show you in the course is a case study account that I show on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter if you guys follow me. I got that account. We just broke $500,000. So we're close to $600,000 in 7 months with 2 products. And this is something I do on the side. So you get access to seeing that live on through the course. I show you how to set up everything. If you need me to review PPC campaigns, see why your ACOS percentages are high, or maybe take a look at your keywords, that's something that I can do, but I do not physically set anything up for you. So you just have to ask yourself, what is it willing? What is your success worth? Is it worth the headache? Is it worth the trouble of going through doing everything your way by yourself, like I did, where it took 3 years and I wasted a bunch of money? I had 3 failures. I spent a lot of time. Or what is a small cost of $500 to accelerate your growth? All right, accelerate your success and have access to a mentor who's doing so. So that's really what you have to ask yourself, guys. All right, so I think that's all the questions. Any of you guys that are watching, feel free to DM me or Chris. You want to go ahead and say your Instagram, all your social media stuff, Chris? That way they know where to check you out at.
Yeah, definitely. Like Josh said, guys, feel free. I mean, I was helped out a lot by Josh, and I'm here to help as well, guys. So hit me up. My Instagram is CJ_Empire. So, I mean, I know a lot of you guys have already reached out to me, and I hope I was able to help you guys out, or at least make you feel more at ease in taking the course. And once again, like, I believe so much in the course. It's in my bio. The link is right there, guys. I mean, hit me up at any time.
All right, awesome. All right, so looks like we knocked all the questions out. And I hope this is helpful for you. But more than being helpful, I hope that this is motivational for you guys. Like I tell you guys all the time, there's nothing special about me. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not super smart. I don't even have a high school diploma, okay? But what I do have is the ethic, all right? As long as you have the persistence, the consistency, and the patience, those 3 have to work symbiotically, all in unison. If you take your time and you're persistent, you guys can achieve success with private labeling. Adapt, find the formula, find a mentor, and just be patient, be humble, take the time, and this is possible. It's not magic. There's no magic trick that I showed Chris. There's no black hat tactics that is illegal or that you guys don't have access to. You guys just have to have access to the formula and be patient. All right, so I appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out with us. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. I read and answer all of them. You can also email me at jchrismarketing@gmail.com. All the links will be down below. The link to the course will be the first in the description. And you also get access to the Facebook Mastermind, where all the other successful students are, Chris, Joseph, and the rest of them, the community. It's an awesome community. So take advantage of that, and I will see you guys next time.